Hi friends! Welcome back and thank you for joining me for part 1 of my Hannibal Lecter series. The video today is going to cover how to build your mask. I uploaded a fun preview to this series yesterday, and if you're interested, you can click this link to watch that first. Then come back here and keep watching. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's get started. I created a pattern for this mask and it's available in my Etsy shop. It's currently available in one size fits most adults, but who knows, I might resize it and make it available in children's sizes as well. If you are interested in this pattern in children's sizes, leave me a comment down below so that I know there's an interest, and I will make it happen. And while we're at it, here is a list of tools and materials you will need. First, head on over to Etsy and grab the pattern. Print page 3. Do not change the scale or zoom in your print settings. Cut out the pattern. So now you're just going to overlap the two pieces and tape them together. You should have a pattern piece that looks pretty much exactly like this. And now, grab your foam. I'm using 4mm foam by the Foamery. It's available from the website thefoamery.com. That's Foamory.com. If you haven't yet, you should check out the website. You can sign up for the newsletter, visit the cosplay corner, and see what else they've got going on. You can also purchase from the Foamery on Amazon. Just go to Amazon and search Foamery. That's Foamory. I wouldn't use craft foam because it's thin and low density, which means it's going to be flimsy and it isn't going to hold a shape. But the Foamery foam is super high density and heat shapes like a dream. So I usually use their huge rolls of foam, but if you're making a smaller project and you don't need that much foam, they just came out with these smaller cuts of foam, which are still pretty big at 14 inches by 39 inches. So there's still a good bit of foam in here, but you can save some money if you don't need, a whole big roll of foam. You can get this. If I haven't mentioned it before, my boyfriend is the sole owner of the Foamery, so I get the inside scoop on new products. And I was pretty excited when he decided to come out with a smaller cut. For those of you who aren't making like huge armor cosplays and you just don't need as much foam, like I said, it's the same foam as the big rolls that he has. It's available in the same thicknesses, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10mm, and it's available in black and white. If you do decide to purchase your foam from the Foamery, you'll be supporting a couple of creative nerds. Just two regular people like you and not some big business. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my foam. If you were curious, I did say it was a pretty big roll. Like I said, it's still a lot of foam. Alright, so let's lay this out. Alright, so now I'm going to lay my pattern on my foam and trace it out. I'm just going to use a few pins pushing it in through the pattern into the foam so that the pattern doesn't move around on me while I'm tracing it. Alright, so now we can take the pins out. Make sure you hold on to this because we're not done with it yet. Now, cut out the mask. I usually use an X-Acto knife, but you can use a box cutter. You can actually use scissors. Let's go ahead and pop this bad boy out. Boop, boop, boop. Ta-da! Now you should have this. Okay, now we're going to cut out the mouth hole and the nose slit. The dashed parts here, just ignore those for now because that's where we're going to attach the straps for, actually putting the mask on and wearing it. And then we need to transfer over these little holes, and there's a few different ways that you can do that. First, let's cut out the mouth and nose hole. So you can do this with your X-Acto knife, or you can do it with some scissors. So now we need to transfer our mouth hole over to the foam, and we need to transfer all these little holes. Okay, you can pin it back down again if you'd like, just to keep it from Christopher walking around on you. And transfer. Okay. Now I'm going to transfer the holes, and there's a few different ways you can do it. If you don't want to have to get an X-Acto knife in around those tight curves, you can just poke like a pencil or a toothpick or something through the pattern straight into your foam so that you know where the center of the hole needs to be, and then you can cut it out however you want. I'm actually going to use a Dremel for that step. So just poke it through. Poke. Once again, hang on to your pattern. Okay, so now we're going to cut out the little mouth hole, and you should be able to see little dots where we poked all of our little holes. So cut out your mouth hole, and then we're going to cut these out in a minute. Ta-da! You should have a piece of foam looking like this. If you've got some sandpaper, you can get in here and clean this up a bit. A Dremel would be better. And I'm going to go ahead and cut out all of these little holes while the foam is still flat, instead of, shaping the mask and then having to go in and do the holes. And like I said, I really don't want to have to get an X-Acto knife in around those curves, so I'm just going to take my Dremel, and I've got this little itty bitty sanding drum on there. So I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to go at a 90-degree angle and basically just go straight through the foam with this little bit. Woo! Look at those holes, they're like perfect. Nice. I had not tested this out, but that went very well. Oh, that's fantastic. So the holes on his mask are slightly bigger, but they're not as big as the next size up sanding bit that I have. So I'm just gonna kind of go in there and like work it around a little. And hopefully I don't mess this up. Oh, that's awesome. Look at those holes. I'm a little too excited about that. Oh, that went very well. I am very happy with that. Okay, cool. Alright, so I'm going to wipe up my mat and on to the next step. And just right quick before I put my Dremel away, I am going to go in here and I'm just going to touch up my edges. I did a pretty good job getting clean cuts around the outside, but I could get a little cleaner edges on the inside of the mouth hole. Mouth hole. Ooh, I should make a Bane mask. Ugh. Okay. Now let's clean up and move on to the next step. Contact cement! Now, if you have a heat gun, you can put a little heat on the foam just to make it a little more pliable while you get your shape. So notice how I had a little bit of curve to the foam before, and now it's nice and flat. Now grab your trusty contact cement and we are going to glue all of these V shapes closed. I'm also going to use one of these little popsicle sticks that I have just to help me get into the little crevices. Oh yeah. Alright. It does not matter which V you start with, so just pick one and get going. I really like the popsicle stick for getting into the nooks and crannies and crevices and such. Now we just want the contact cement to dry and then stick it together. I like to press and hold it for a second while it dries real good. Now once you've done a few, I like to let it sit for a minute so that it has time to cure. Like right now, if I did this V, it would start pulling on these two seams, and if I did these V's, then it would pull on this seam. So I'm just gonna chill out for a minute, let it cure a little bit. Okay, let's do some more seams. I do recommend working in a ventilated area because the contact cement can be a little potent. Just be aware of that. Oh, let me show you. Let me zoom in the way I like to stick my V's together instead of just kind of trying to like mush them together. Bend your mask back, line up your ends along the edge there, and then press it closed. Okay, do the same thing there. Instead of just trying to like mash it closed, bend, line up, and then press it closed. Like that. Nice. And now don't forget to glue the little V hole up in its mouth. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. And that's where we're going to end part 1. If you're crafty and feeling adventurous, you can go ahead and finish your mask on your own. Otherwise, I'll see you back here in 1 week for part 2, where I show you how to paint this lovely and add the teeth guard. Have a beautifully spooky day. See you soon. Just go to Amazon and search for Foamery, F-O-A. Wow, I spelled Foamery wrong there. That's funny. But I spelled it right there. Foamory.